Once again, guys, this is the Investor Show as always. This is your host, Prince Dykes, coming all the way live from Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get new notifications, new videos drop. But as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys don't have a lot of time, so we're going to jump straight into it. So today's video is going to be about stock splits. What are stocks? We're going to talk about what are stock splits. We're going to talk about 2 or 3 pros and 2 or 3 cons of stock splits. So keep it locked. Let's jump straight into it. All right. So company A is worth $100,000. Right? You guys see that? So company A decides to issue 2 shares to 2 people, 2 of the founders. Right? They issue shares to 2 people. They both get a share each. They both get 1 share. 1 share, 1 share. If the company is worth $100,000, they both get 1 share. That means their share equals, hope you guys can see this, $50,000, right? 1 share, $50,000. Now, let's say if this person, let's say they decide to do a stock split. Because they say, hey, let's do a 2-for-1 stock split. That means if you had 1 stock, you now have 2 shares. You guys see that? So now what we're going to do is, instead of having just 1 share, we're going to come down to where this one person is now going to have 2 shares for $25,000 each. This person is going to have 2 shares for $25,000 each. Guys, see that? They both have 1 share for $50,000. Now they both have 2 shares. Let me put a K behind this, so if you're looking back at this, it won't be too confusing. So, as you can see, even after the stock split, the company still is worth the same $100,000. $25,000, $25,000, $25,000, $25,000. What really changed? It didn't change the value of the company. It just means that it's more shares are available, right? This is a stock split. Some stock splits are 2-for-1, some are 2 for 10, 10 for 1. I've seen some of at 90 for 1, right? So it splits the stock all the way down. It makes it more affordable. Now we're going to get into some of the pros and cons of a stock split. The pros is, let's say if the person up here wanted to go off and buy a motorcycle, but he doesn't want to sell his whole interest of his company, right? Let's say the motorcycle is going to cost $20,000. He would have to sell his whole interest in the company just to go buy a motorcycle. Let's say if he didn't want to do that. If the stock splits, now that he has more shares, he can sell 1 share, go buy him a motorcycle for $25,000 or $20,000, and still own his interest in the company, right? So now that you have more shares, you can sell some and keep some. It makes it more liquidable, right? You can liquidate it and things like that. So that is one of the pros of it. The second thing is, the more shares you have and the lower the price is, you get to attract new investors. Investors may not have $50,000. For a prime example, Berkshire Hathaway costs $310,000 at the time of this video. Well, $311,000, right? How many people can afford $311,000 per share, right? Not too many people. But he does have a Class B that is $200, right? Now that that's $200, more people will buy this over the $300,000 share. You agree, right? So now your shares are more accessible. When your shares are more accessible, you can now invest more money into it. And not invest more money. The price you could see a bump in price, because now that the supply has increased, the demand may increase. And when the demand increases, when more people buy stocks, what happens to the price? It goes up. So there go some pros of of a stock split. Now we want to get into some of the cons of a stock split. Now, how many people are going to sell their $311,000 share of Berkshire? Maybe not too many people. But how many people will sell their $200 share? More people will, because it makes the stock more volatile. And what I mean by making the stock more volatile is that people are more apt to sell shares if they're at a cheaper price. For example, if you buy a stock for 50 cents, a penny stock for 50 cents, it's not really performing that well, you'll probably get rid of it. But if you bought a stock for $3,000, you'll probably weather the storm if you had an Amazon or something like that, right? So it makes the stock more volatile in cases because you attract newer, some people will call it bad money, or people who will sell your stock faster. So that's a con of having a stock split. Another one is to do a stock split. It costs a lot of money to the company. The company has to put out all type of notification, all type of administrative fees to money that could be going to grow the company is now going to just split shares. So it is costly for a company. Another thing is to be listed on the SEC, you have to have your stock can't drop below a certain price, right? Let's say if your stock costs $100 and you do a 10-for-1 stock split. That means that for every share it breaks down to $10, right? Per share. It initially costs $10. You do a 10-for-1 stock split, it costs $10. And your SEC minimum may say that your stock has to cost $5, right? Let's say if your stock price drops to $4, you may run into potential of getting losing your being listed on the SEC because your stock can drop to $4. That's one of the another con of having a stock split. That's when they do things like reverse stock splits. But that's not for this video. But anyway, those were some pros. That's what a stock split is. Those were some pros. Those were some cons of a stock split. I hope that helped you guys out. Now, granted, there are way more cons than pros. So don't, hey, what about this con, this con? But those are a couple of pros and cons of a stock split. Until the next video podcast or whatever you see me do crazy around the globe, peace, be safe. I'm out, and thank you. Yeah.